Hi, HR management. Welcome to Module 4. After this week, we'll be halfway through the class. You have two chapters to cover this week. Chapter 7 focuses on training and development, and then Chapter 8 focuses on performance management. So you'll have a discussion for Chapter 7 surrounding training and development. And really, this chapter focuses on how an organization can become a lot more profitable with effective training. There's an example in the text about Ritz-Carlton who spends over 300 hours training each of their employees because they really want a certain brand consistency and a customer service experience that is very unique. In addition, this particular chapter talks about how very few organizations really connect their training and development to long-term strategic goals. So I know that personally, I can say I've been through a lot of training at jobs that I don't want to say didn't have meaning, but really didn't connect to the work that I was doing or connect to the long range goals. So it's really critical that if you're building a training program, that it ties into what your overall goals are and not just checking off a box for the organization. This chapter talks about how critical it is that you analyze your present day operations to be able to truly effectively design training, whether it's the right facilitator, the right software, the right plan where it requires 3 or 4 steps to train. And this chapter also talks about different types of training. Many of you have been involved in cross training with other departments. And also, one thing that's unique about this chapter is something called adventure based learning, which is something I really like, where essentially you're creating a game or a fun environment out of learning. Chapter 8, you're going to learn about performance management, which is essentially creating an environment where people can thrive, reach their goals, and have the ability to grow. So obviously, everyone wants that. Many organizations just follow the process of annual performance goals and fail in doing so because they only provide feedback to their team once a year and maybe don't spend enough time to get to know their employees, what motivates them, make sure they have a pathway, and make sure that they're helping them develop. This chapter talks about SMART goals, which I'm sure many of you have created before. At Catawba, we extended SMART to be Smarties. So inclusive, equitable, and sustainable. And those are 3 things that we're really committed to in our strategic plan, as well as the development of our people. So I'm really interested in what your employer requires. And I really want you to think this chapter and how you'd like to receive feedback going forward, because I think that's something that's really critical that you convey to your supervisor so that you can continue to grow. So, me personally, I have a team meeting bi-weekly. On opposite weeks, I meet with my direct reports. So when we get to the annual performance evaluation, there really should be no surprise in areas that I'm continually trying to develop them, areas personally that I know they want to grow in, because it's an ongoing, honest conversation where I can help them get to where they want to be, or maybe I can just honestly convey that there isn't a particular path for where they want to go, so that they feel like they're in a culture that really invests in them, but really also genuinely wants them to do well as a person. So you'll wrap this chapter with a test. And one thing that I just want to encourage you for the test, I'm asking a bit more in terms of short answer questions for the test, not because I want you to Google or look in your textbook about what that term definition is. I really want you to set that term aside and just explain what it means to you, and not just in one sentence. I really want you to, at least at a minimum, include 3 sentences on the short answer questions so that I can really be sure that you understand the concept and give you full credit. So, again, the point of the test is not to have you look back in the text and memorize something, but more so be able to apply it to your current work environment or your future desired work environment. So, again, discussion and a test this week. I'm here for anything you need. I hope everyone has a great week, and congratulations for making it to the halfway point in the class.